Well, since this is, in fact, the first meeting of the new year, and a very chilly one at the moment, I guess maybe a number of the people who signed up to come this morning may have thought it might be better off staying in bed. But as you know, we do, of course, have our excellent videographer Wilson there, and of course we'll be recording the meeting today. And I know we get an awful lot of people who watch the updates and the videos of these meetings, so all is not lost in terms of the communication that we have. And of course we'll also be preparing a summary of the meeting, and that goes out to over 14,000 of our residents who receive our emails and want to receive them. And so, you know, it'll have a wide publicity anyway. So as you know, I'm Alan Bowditch. I took over the presidency of Engage Estero back in April last year. And Jim Gilmartin, of course, is now the chairperson in charge of the Board of Trustees of Engage Estero. We have a very important meeting today, I think. And although it may not appear perhaps as significant as talking about the roads and the traffic and the safety or the building that's going on in Estero. Of course, we have covered a lot of that information. But actually, these two topics, in my view, are exceptionally important to us here in Estero. First of all, the Dean, Dr. Bill McDowell, from the Entrepreneurial School at FGCU is going to speak about the importance of that particular group, the attractive nature of it to many students who are now coming here and actually are part of that school. I was astonished the other day to hear just how many. I leave the topic to him, but it was really very reassuring to know how many people are attracted to that particular school. So why is it important? Well, in my view, you know, this is the future of commerce. You know, these individuals come up with very, very, very intriguing ideas for service or for new products. And I think it's extremely important to attract those individuals to remain here, you know, in Estero. I know a lot do, but I think we should and could do more for these students to get them off, to make a start, a good start in the development of their products and the services that they have. And I leave, of course, Bill talk about this in more detail in a moment. But, you know, it's very important, I think, for Estero to have a very lively and important economic basis for going forward. And of course, Steffanie Pearce, many of you may know for the various things that you may have been to at Gulfshore Opera. You know, it was very nice that they chose to have their base here, their organizational base here in Estero. Why is it important? Well, you know, the whole issue of having opportunities to enhance one's enjoyment of the arts and culture, I think is terribly, terribly important. It makes people feel good. There was actually a very, very interesting comment that I picked up from the brochure that was introduced or that was given to us down at Artist Naples. And I'd like to read it to you because I think it was very interesting. The Peruvian orchestral conductor, Harth Bedoya, made this following interesting point. He is now a distinguished resident director of orchestras and professor of conducting at the Rice University Shepherd School of Music. And what he said was this: there's a saying that you cannot touch music, but music can touch you. It can move emotions, spark your imagination, and awaken your sense of beauty. That's the power of music. And one thing which you may or may not have seen, a month or two back, I wrote an article about how music can assist in healthcare. That particular article is still on our website at www.estero today. And it illustrates just how much music can actually really move people, enhance their emotions, as Harth Bedoya was saying. And to have an organization that produces, even though in a variety of genres, attractive and hugely popular operas and various other things that one can go to, really does make Estero a very unique and very important place to live. So just having made those comments, I'd actually like to introduce Bill McDowell, our first speaker, to come and tell us a little bit more about the Entrepreneurial School that's there at FGCU. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. I've got this. Do I need this? I am slightly loud, if that's okay with everybody. I apologize up front that I'm the first speaker of the year. Wow. You couldn't have hit a new low Engage Estero. I just want to say that I'm really glad to be here. It was great hosting you guys up at the school the other day. And I want to just be the first to welcome you all to come up to the School of Entrepreneurship one of these days for your meeting. I would love to host you, show you around the School of Entrepreneurship, let you see what we've got. It's pretty amazing, and I would really be thrilled to show you around and have you have your time there. It would be fabulous. I am a happy resident of Estero myself. I tell you what, when we moved here from Texas, it was like this was great. This is the place I want to be, specifically right here, and I was thrilled to find our house right here. But I'm more thrilled to be able to live in a place with cool people like you. I mean, this is kind of awesome. So anyway, so again, my name is Bill McDowell. I am the Dean and the Mark Ain Endowed Chair of Entrepreneurship at FGCU in the Daveler and Kauanui School of Entrepreneurship. Let's all say that together. Daveler and Kauanui School of Entrepreneurship. How many of you knew Sandy Kauanui? Did anybody? Yeah, Sandy, she was a force. I am thrilled to stand on Sandy's shoulders. I've been friends with Sandy for a couple decades, and what she helped to create and really stirred here is truly tremendous. And I'll tell you what, when we think about entrepreneurship, and I'm going to give you some information here in just a minute, but the university was started with a very specific purpose: to come down and bring education to the region, to start making an opportunity for our students in the area to have a local regional comprehensive school. But the School of Entrepreneurship started in about 2018. It came out of the College of Business. Why do we have a School of Entrepreneurship? And I will tell you, interestingly, we're not part of the College of Business anymore. We're completely separate, and I'll go over that in just a minute. But entrepreneurship is really here to help stir innovation and creativity and job development. And I think one thing that continues to happen in this region is we see an amazing amount of growth, as you all see, and it's really happening right now during season. By the way, I got the full introduction to season last year. Wow, everybody shows up. But it's amazing. What we need is something around here to help us to really be an economic driver. And when we have our students, college students, who honestly bring about such a creative mind and innovative approach towards everything, it's really phenomenal what they can do. And I'm excited to share just some of the stories here in just a minute. I want to tell you a little bit about the school. We are an independent school of entrepreneurship on the campus at Florida Gulf Coast University. That means we are not part of the College of Business, we are not part of the College of Engineering, we're not part of the College of Education, we're not part of any of those other programs. And what you have, and by the way, FGCU is your university. Does everybody agree? Everybody raise your hand. I solemnly swear it's my university. Okay. This is your university. I don't care where you went or what you've done with other schools. This is your school. But this is a place that we really do something. We are very unique in that we are an independent school of entrepreneurship. There's only 4 independent schools of entrepreneurship in the nation. Did anybody know that? So the first one was Bradley University. The guy in the white actually went there. I apologize on his behalf right now. I know that. I actually used to run that school. That was the very first independent school of entrepreneurship. The second one was Drexel University in Philadelphia. Anybody go to Drexel? Anybody in Drexel's? Okay. Do what? I have a daughter. Oh, you have a daughter. Third was this other other school in the state of Florida called Florida State. Not really sure. We don't know where that's at or anything about them. The fourth was Florida Gulf Coast University. And then the fifth was High Point University in North Carolina. Now, did anybody go to High Point? All right. There you go. Beautiful campus. Interestingly, though, Drexel is no longer independent. They're having a lot of financial problems, and they're combining programs all around. So there actually is only 4 programs. So at our School of Entrepreneurship, we actually have a major in entrepreneurship. So you come to FGCU, you get into the school, when you first start, you major in entrepreneurship. Most universities, they don't have a major in entrepreneurship, they have a concentration in entrepreneurship. So in other words, you might be in the College of Business, getting a degree in management, and if you want, you can take an entrepreneurship course or 2, and they give you a concentration in entrepreneurship. We actually have a major. When you look at entrepreneurship programs around the nation, most programs have between 10 and 20 students in them, okay? So that's how many students are taking entrepreneurship programs, or concentrations, etc. The bigger programs have about 50 students. The really large students have 100, and the massive students have 200 students. We have in the School of Entrepreneurship over 900 students at FGCU who are either majoring or minoring. We have about 750 entrepreneurship majors at Florida Gulf Coast University. That doesn't even make sense. I've been in entrepreneurship education for a long time. That's huge. That's a massive number. Then we've got on top of that students who are doing a minor in entrepreneurship and then a graduate program in entrepreneurship. So it's really phenomenal. We consistently are in the top 50 entrepreneurship programs in the nation based on a variety of metrics. We're one of the top in the state. And we, of course, because we have something that others don't have, a really phenomenal large program. If you look at what we're doing and the kind of support we have the only building on campus that was actually 100% donor funded. So every other building on campus has been state funded, et cetera. We're the only one that's been donor funded because people believe in it. Why? Why do people believe in entrepreneurship? It's because we're doing something incredible. We're helping to drive the industry and where we're going. One thing that's really cool, we're so significant. The International Small Business Institute Conference, the Small Business Institute, is the organization that was started back in 1972 through the Small Business Administration, and some universities got together to say, hey, how do we make economic development happen through entrepreneurship and small business? And that's really the beginning of entrepreneurship education, the beginning of small business education. All that came from this. Their 50th anniversary for their conference is this year. And because we are so significant, we are actually hosting the conference this year in April, which I think is pretty cool. So when we look at what we do, we don't just teach theory. We're not just out there, getting up and doing lecture. In fact, in our building, and I can't wait, all of you need to come visit. It is pretty phenomenal, though, isn't it? So when you come up there, we don't actually have lecture-based courses. We still have to teach theory. We have to teach all the details and the aspects of it. But we're really focused on getting the students to be hands-on in the development of their own business ideas. We want them to be connected with the projects. So they are actually doing real business, real startups. We have a makerspace, which is a phenomenal location where students can go in and create minimal viable products and prototypes, etc. And a lot of our students actually run their businesses out of this space, which is really amazing. And we continue to grow that. In fact, we got a whole lot more equipment in yesterday. We're getting about $30,000 more worth of equipment over the next few weeks, which is pretty exciting, although it's already full of amazing things. But we have a place where it's safe for students to try and fail. But also we have a place where we really help students succeed, which is really exciting. In fact, I love this. Our students don't wait till graduation to start their business. They start their businesses now. Here's what's amazing in my opinion. We have so many programs. At the School of Entrepreneurship, we have 2 real distinct pieces. One is the curricular part, and the other is the co-curricular. In the curricular part, we have the major in entrepreneurship, and this fall we're starting multiple new concentrations and minors. We have a new concentration, I know you're all excited about this, in blockchain entrepreneurship. How many of you really understand blockchain? All right, I don't, but we're starting that. Why? Because our students are engaged in that. I mean, that's where everything's moving to. We've got a concentration and minor in that. We have another concentration in sustainability entrepreneurship, which is part of what we believe in down here in this region, and the university is really big on that. So how do we focus on that? We have a new one in the creator economy. Anybody in here social media influencers? All right, we got one. I am not. I don't understand it. It's amazing. But we have so many individuals who are engaged in creating the content out there. And you say, well, do you have people to teach these classes? Yeah. You know, one of our guys that's teaching media entrepreneurship right now, he's from right here, and he walked into my office about a year and a half ago and said, hey, I want to teach a media entrepreneurship class. I was like, okay, tell me about what you want to do. He tells me, I'm like, well, that sounds good. Do you have any experience? He says, well, I started MTV, I started Nickelodeon, I started ESPN2. I'm like, you're hired, okay? So he's actually teaching our students, so it's amazing. But we've got this new sustainability the creator economy entrepreneurship program that we're beginning. We've got also family enterprise. How many of you know there's a lot of family businesses represented in the region? We're starting that this fall, a new family enterprise concentration and minor. In fact, I'm actually teaching the family enterprise class right now. Poor students, it's really sad for them. But we're starting that as well. So we have all this great curriculum, and our programs are just going to continue to grow. We even are working across campus. I actually pay professors from other colleges to work with us for a year to develop courses in music entrepreneurship and software development entrepreneurship. We even have a new class started called Entrepreneurship that's in the College of Education. But on top of that, we have the curricular, but we also have the co-curricular part. And that's all run through the Rist Institute for Entrepreneurship. So Brian Rist, I'm not sure if you know him, but he started StormSmart. He has actually been a great benefactor for us. But we have the Rist Institute for Entrepreneurship, and Brian Rist actually teaches a class for us. He doesn't just come speak, he's actually there every week teaching. But in our program, we have the Runway program, which is students from across campus launching their businesses. So this last semester, we were working with 145 students who are in the process of starting their businesses. 2 nights ago, we had a kickoff for this semester. So on top of that 145, we had 98. We couldn't have had 100. We had 98 more students show up. So we've got about 250 students from across campus who aren't necessarily taking entrepreneurship classes, but we're training and working with them on a regular basis to start their business. And here's the cool part. We actually fund them to start their businesses. So their first semester, we give them anywhere from $250 to $500 to go out and form their LLC and get their businesses started. After that, the second semester on, they're in what we call our growth program, and we're helping them to develop their business. And we'll write them checks anywhere from $500 up to $20,000. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? And it's free. We don't keep equity in it. We don't do any. It's all non-dilutive equity for them, so they can do whatever they want with it. And at this point, I just want to point this out. We've given out over $1 million to student startups. That's incredible. On top of that, we work with veterans from our region. They're not students, but vets from the region. We work with them every week. They're on campus every week for about 2 to 3 hours on Tuesdays, working with our instructors, with our mentors. And we've actually now given out over $1 million to veteran startups as well, which is pretty phenomenal. We've got, this is an old number. We are way beyond 500, 600 businesses that have been launched. And our businesses have already generated over $100 million in revenues, which is pretty exciting. The big thing that's really cool about this, and I'm not sure if, maybe it's on the next slide, I'm not sure. We'll see. That's not doing anything. Oh, there it goes, yep. Okay, yeah, I don't know where it's at. When you look at startups, the average startup fails. Is everybody aware of that? Research shows that after 5 years, between 10 and 30% of businesses are still in business. That's it. Our students who start up businesses and veterans, we track them all. We actually have a 70% success rate after 5 years. So that's incredible. Why is that? Well, I'll tell you there's some things. Number one, we're amazing, right? Number two, We have phenomenal mentors, people like you that come up and work with them on a regular basis. So they're not out there on an island. They are talking to people who've been there and done that and have experience. It doesn't mean you have to have started a business, but you understand a lot more than they do when, you know, at their age and their point in life. We're working with them, so that's great. We also support them financially. So they're getting to launch without immediately going out and putting a ton of money on credit cards and whatever. So we're trying to help them, and we connect them with other financing in the region that's appropriate for what they're doing. And so we do those things. But also, you know what else is amazing, and this is where you all come into play. We live in a great place where it's really a fabulous location to start a business. There's so much need in this region. There's so much opportunity right here. You know, why? There's, number one, there's expendable income, right? There's growth, and then there's just opportunity for services and things that we don't have yet. So the students are finding those opportunities and making them happen. It's pretty exciting and just all around. I am clearly not talented enough to make this happen. So, there you go. Oh, there we go. Okay. So just some pretty just some interesting businesses that we have right here. Caddyshack Cafe. Has anybody been to Caddyshack Cafe? The husband and wife both went through our entrepreneurship program. They're up to about 30 employees right now. UBU, this guy is making huge wins all over the United States with his program to help students who are dealing with disabilities, et cetera, and others. Jade Springs, 6-figure revenue music business, not a bad deal. Bounce Back Pickle, this one just started this last year through one of our challenges. So not only do we have the runway program, we have our veterans program, we have challenges. And a challenge is a way that you all can get involved. Those are basically competitions. So we had a competition in the spring of last year. The students couldn't have been very far, and the business really can't be anywhere. It's an idea competition. So we had them, this guy came up with his idea in February. He applied to be involved. We did a trade show on campus. Mike was actually at our trade show. We had way too much success at our trade show. We had 36 teams in our building, and then we invited the community to come out and judge all these different teams. We accidentally had, over a 3-hour period, 1,200 people come through to judge. That is, had the fire marshal been there, no one works for the fire, right? We would have been in big trouble. Mike, would we have been in trouble?
Yes.
It was bad. I mean, it was but this young man started this business of recycling pickleballs. So I don't know if any of you at your pickleball locations, I like my shoulders so I don't play. You may actually see a Bounce Back Pickle recycling bin that is now up and running, and he is actually now creating pickleballs from recycled pickleballs to sell. Great business, great idea, just came from nowhere. But he's doing a really good idea, a really good job with that. Just some of the businesses right here in Estero that we have started. So Sunday Studio, Caddyshack, it's kind of on the fringe. It's actually Fort Myers, but we're going to forget that. Jack Thomas Media, Canine Cardio, Remora Boat Cleaning, Boats and Buyers. Has anybody seen Boats and Buyers, by the way? It's kind of a neat business. American Veteran Welding, Pelican Lawn Service, Amazing Graze, and Bounce Back Pickle. Just some of them. I mean, we have whole lists of companies that are right here. So why does this matter? These are real businesses. This is helping our economy. This is providing services and goods to us right here in our area. And it continues to help grow Estero. I mean, Estero is a fabulous opportunity. It grows our region. It grows Lee County, it grows Collier County, all this stuff. And one thing, there's a lot of these students who are bringing some real creativity to the mix. And it's keeping creative, innovative things just right here in our region as well. So it's pretty phenomenal. And again, with this startup rate, we don't have a lot of businesses coming and getting shut down. They're starting up and they're staying and they're continuing to grow. So what makes it difficult? And I did want to kind of bring this up because this is a reality, as you all know. And this is things we all need to be thinking about. You know, number one is this cost of living and affordability. If you're launching a business here and you're coming straight out of school, this is not a cheap place to live. This is very difficult for us. Access to affordable workspace and facilities. We need to keep looking at opportunities to make these things available for our students. One thing that does make it hard is sometimes finding early customers. We need more connections. We need more integration with the region and with people in the area. Of course, access to early stage capital funding is always going to be an issue that comes up. And this is one thing that we look at. Sometimes we think, oh, it's a great place to start because there's so much opportunity. There is, but do we really have that entrepreneurial ecosystem in the region to help be that uniting, supporting force? I do a lot of coaching, not your kind of coaching. I do leadership coaching. But I tell my coachees all the time, you need to build 3 different types of networks. You need a support network, you need an operations network, and you need a strategic network. Support are there to help you. The operations are there to give you the ideas on how to do stuff. And your strategic network, how do you think bigger? These are the kinds of things that we need for our students. They need to be connected with people that will help them in each one of those types of areas. And then, of course, oftentimes we got big cities wanting these students. They're coming out with some great ideas and good opportunities. That's something that we do have to compete with. So, but why it matters. If they are starting something here, it's helping all of us. Does everybody agree with that? Yeah. I mean, it helps every single one of us. And we say, well, we already have a business like that. You know what? I'm a believer that competition helps everybody be better. There's opportunities. Do what?
How many car washes do we have?
How many cars? Yeah. Are they getting better? Okay, yeah. But they also get engaged. They want to be engaged. They want to feel like they're part of the community. They also can then come along and mentor. Of course, what does it do? The more opportunities and more growth and development, the more the tax base helps, the more it's going to help with everything that's going on, the diversity, the economic resilience, and just everything in general. So it's kind of exciting stuff we've got going on. There we go. So how can you help? Are you guys ready? This is it. What do we need to do? We need to make sure we stay very startup friendly. That's the key. Are we really supporting these startups? Are we really trying to help them? One thing that I think is so sad when we dismiss students. Oh, they're students. What a cute idea. That cute idea sometimes turns into a $1 billion idea. We've got a student right now, or he just recently graduated. He makes between $40,000 and $60,000 a month making ASMR videos. Do you know what ASMR videos are? It's just weird sounds in a microphone. I don't understand that. That's a cute idea. He's making $40,000 to $60,000 a month doing it. That's, it's not just, they're coming up with some really amazing things. We have a student who's on our campus right now. I didn't even put him, he has 6 Spotify albums out right now, which is incredible. We have another student who, he was on he was a graduate. He's got 2 billion views on TikTok. That's pretty significant. I have 0, I don't understand it, I mean, I watch the videos and they're like, oh, there's cats or something, but it's not just cute ideas. What else we need to do? Shared business spaces. There's a lot of business opportunities here in the space. Maybe we need to find ways to get the students to get away from campus and find their place into the marketplace a little bit better and a little bit quicker. Student business viability. Sometimes we need to start, how do we partner with the students? How do we do projects with them? Mentorship is huge. If anybody's looking for a way to do something, that's always huge. We need mentors. We've got about 50 to 60. We need about 150. That's our current projection on what we're needing right now. Internships. If you know of internships that are available, that's a huge push for us. Multiple of our new programs, we're requiring the students to go through internships. And then also, what can you do? Come to our pitch events. I want you to know the Veterans Pitch event is tomorrow on campus. I think it starts at like 9 o'clock. You're welcome to come. Be there. Just support them. We got the Azul's Innovation Challenge stuff. Again, last year. I don't want 1,200 people there. But we want that. We also do things with the high schools. How many of you know we're doing, we actually have a dual enrollment program right here in Estero High, where they're teaching our classes in the program. They're teaching our Intro to Entrepreneurship and our Entrepreneurship and Creativity. And those students, we get them to come up to school, we come up to the campus, and they're actually considered FGCU students. So there's a lot of great opportunity there as well. So lots of ways to get involved. But ultimately, I think this is something that's great. I think it's great that it's right here. I think that Estero gets to say, hey, this is our school. This is something that we can connect with. And I hope I hope something that I said today kind of spurs you and thinks, hey, I think I would like to get involved because we need you involved in one way, shape, or form. So, is that good?
Wonderful.
Any questions? Alan told me to hold off. I've got a 4-hour lecture in a minute that he wanted me to start. No, I'm just joking. Yeah.
I signed up to be a mentor a few years ago, but my problem, or not, my talent is all with the federal government. So I didn't have the entrepreneurship side, but leadership, management, scheduling time, all that kind of stuff. But something happened with the program and it didn't go. So can you use people that don't necessarily start businesses and stuff?
Yeah, all the time. We have different types of mentoring programs. So we have one is called mentoring circles. That's where we bring people like yourself into the classroom who are there just to talk about general stuff. So they sit down at a table, they meet with the students for the class period, maybe 2, 3, 4 times a semester. And they're talking about things that could be as simple as personal finance or anything like that. We also have the veterans program. Some of our programs are actually doing work with the federal government. You could actually come in handy on some of those. But we have the veterans program, which is you're just there kind of giving them a voice to talk to, if that makes sense. The runway program, and then we're starting a new program. It's not quite like life coaching, but we know one thing that students need is sometimes they need just somebody to be there just to talk about and help encourage them to hey, here's how you go out and find an internship, or here's how you put together your talk when you're going out for an interview or something like that. So there's lots of different opportunities. We'd love to have you. Yeah.
Phil,
Yeah.
how big of a role in the program is marketing research for these people? Because with a new idea, it's useful to be able to find out about how much traction there might be on it. I just wondered.
Yeah, so that's a massive part of what they do, because they actually have to go out and do customer discovery, and they have to do the whole market analysis, the marketing strategies. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to be successful at all. So very, very much plays a big role in that. So if anybody has, such as you, that has experience in that area, it is something that they have to show that there's availability. And what's funny is they all come in and think, oh, I'll just put something online and everybody's going to go visit and make it happen. That doesn't work like that. You actually have to have a plan and a purpose and put it together. So it's a very important role for us. Yeah.
I have one more. Do you have scholarships then that people fund, specifically for entrepreneurship?
We do. In fact, we're always looking for additional scholarships, but we have scholarships, multiple different scholarships for entrepreneurship students that they can all apply for, and then we have we have scholarships that we get money every year. So like we actually have a lot of funds in scholarships. So the Mark Ain Fund gave us $1 million for scholarships. That's to be distributed over the next few years. We get about $100,000 from the Schultz Foundation for scholarships every year. And then we have individuals who fund scholarships, and it's always a great opportunity. My favorite thing is when we bring the high school students up to campus from the dual enrollment programs. They come in and they don't know it, but in their packet they all get to open it up, and there's a golden ticket. And that's where they get a $1,000 scholarship just for being there that day if they come to FGCU. And that's a lot of fun. I get lots of fun emails from parents after that one. That's always a lot of fun. But yeah, we're always looking for scholarships. Yeah.
Traffic is a big problem in our area. Do you have anything around logistics on a vein, on these students coming up with ideas about how to get things to people or people to things more creatively?
I don't understand what you say. Traffic's a problem in this region. That doesn't. I don't know, but that's probably something we need to get them working on. I do know they're working on that through the College of Engineering, but we probably need to get more of them working on that. One thing that our students are really engaging with is AI right now. So we have the AIN Technology and Design Hub. If you've seen the news, there's stuff where this new economic recovery dashboard for Sanibel. Has anybody seen that? It's the Sanibel city is excited about it. Our students created all that. They developed it. They developed the whole idea. They're working on that. They're getting ready to start working with Fort Myers Beach for the economic recovery, and it's got tons of information, real-time data on everything. But it's the kind of thing that I think that the use of AI, they use AI so much. They use programs I've never even heard of But that could be something that they start working on in the future. It'd be a smart move to do so. So, yeah.
Do you have any programs, so I'm not a veteran, and I'm obviously not a high school student, right? But I have a little business, and I'm kind of struggling how to do it. Is there any programs that you guys do to have small businesses come in?
So we don't in the school entrepreneurship, but the university does have the Small Business Development Center. Have you ever been to the SBDC?
I've heard of it.
Okay, yeah. So totally 100% free services that they have at the university that would be great to connect with. And if you just want to reach out to me, I'll get you connected with them because it's truly a free resource for anybody. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm really done.
Okay.
You had that seed money up there that tried to shoot about $1 million. Is that something that we can do?
Yeah, so we have different amounts of funds that come from different sources. So that all that money comes from donors. I mean, we don't. The university, trust me, they do not give us a lot of money. They don't give us money to give out to anything. We're begging for money for faculty and staff, et cetera. All that comes from donors. Yeah, so I'd be happy to have you. I mean, you let me know. We'll work it out. So.
Do you have a direct number that we can call your office?
How about I give you my card, because I have no idea what my number is. Is that okay? So so I'll give you my card. In fact, I'll just leave a stack up here or something. Is that okay?
That's
Can I do
fabulous,
that?
yes.
Yeah. All right.
Bill,
Yep.
thank you so
Thank
very
you.
much.
Appreciate
Ladies
it.
and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to Bill.
And
That
it's
amazing.
It says William, but I'm just a Bill. Okay. So.
Bill, I know
Yeah.
you're very busy. If you would like to stick around for the end of the program, that'll be great. If you do need to leave, we understand. So, I'll leave it to you. But thank you very much. I know that Amy here would like to introduce our next speaker, who is, of course, Steffanie Pearce. So I'm going to ask Amy to introduce Steffanie.
Thank you so much, Alan, and thank you, Bill, for that great presentation. Good morning. My name is Amy Giacometti, and as Gulfshore Opera's newest team member and super fan, it is my great pleasure to introduce Steffanie Pearce, founder and general director of Gulfshore Opera. Miss Pearce enjoyed a long international singing career with opera companies including Opera Marseille, Opera Lisbon, the Opera Company of Philadelphia, and San Diego Opera. She performed at major theaters including Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, the Kennedy Center, and Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. She moved to Naples in 2000 and founded Southwest Florida's first opera company, Opera Naples, in 2005, where she served as general artistic director. In June 2014, she expanded into Lee and Charlotte counties and rebranded Southwest Florida's professional regional opera company as Gulfshore Opera. With no further ado, please join me in welcoming my friend and soon to be yours, Steffanie Pearce.
A neat clicker thing?
Yes, you do.
I've never used one of these before. I don't think I need that.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah. Good. Cool. Thank you, Bill, and thank you so much for inviting us. It's a pleasure to be here. I am a resident of Estero for a little over a year now. I lived in Naples for about 20 years, and we moved our business here. And
I think it's a bit weak.
oh, okay. So this is not a mic that works.
It projects.
Oh, okay. God. How about if I just talk louder? Because I hate holding this. I could sing. So, okay. Now I do this. Yes. Good. Gulfshore Opera is Southwest Florida's professional regional opera company. We are now in our 12th season. We proudly serve communities from Punta Gorda to Marco Island. And each season between October and May, now I need to be able to see this. Well, it looks pretty with the lights off, but I need to be able to see this.
There is a dimmer. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, I like compromise. Good. We bring in over 300 professional classical singers, musicians, and directors who work with Gulfshore Opera to elevate the cultural scene throughout Southwest Florida. We are dedicated to making quality vocal music accessible by blending fine arts with inclusivity. Go achieves this by hiring international talent to collaborate with regional artists and elevate the cultural enrichment of the entire region. We have performances spanning Collier, Lee, and Charlotte counties, and ensure that opera remains geographically and financially accessible to a diverse audience. Approachable sophistication defines the Go artistic vision. While bringing these world-class performances to the local communities, and we maintain an inclusive experience by engaging regional singers, graduates of FGCU, for an example, and local musicians to work alongside these professionals. We produce a range of events from grand opera to intimate concerts, fostering a welcoming atmosphere for all. I think I skipped one. Oh, that's very sensitive. There we go. Our mission is to enrich the community of Southwest Florida by presenting accessible, high-quality vocal music performances with classically trained artists, and to foster a sense of belonging within our diverse community through a variety of musical-based activities. Our challenge is to destigmatize this great art form, which is traditionally associated with the elite. Our purpose is to promote community well-being through this great art form. Whether through educational programs like our Harmony Choir or an Elegant Taste of Opera event, Go remains committed to uniting the region through the inspirational power of the human voice. Through this presentation, I hope to show you how Go can provide the glue that brings our community together. Our values include artistic integrity. While we engage this ensemble of high-quality international singers, we blend them with local singers and students to give them all this experience. I cast all of our talent for all of our concerts, working with the New York agents to bring in the top national talent, sometimes international talent, for our leading roles and our directors. Gulfshore Opera maintains the highest financial responsibility and is a valued community partner. Our financial integrity is reflected in our commitment to operate with a lean staff and a low overhead while maintaining solid organizational structure. We're in the platinum level of the GuideStar nonprofit ratings, and 90% of our $1 million budget stays local. Community engagement is something that we do more than produce opera and concerts. We make this positive social impact throughout the community. It's an essential part of our mission. We're teaching the art of belonging to a diverse cross-section of the Southwest Florida community through various social enrichment activities. There we go. We moved the headquarters here in 2021. Having started the first opera company in the region in Naples, I realized that there was this growth happening north of Naples. And some people were coming from Bonita down to Artist Naples or to other venues there. And my parents lived in Bonita. So I thought, what a great idea to establish the headquarters somewhere in the middle of our region, which is the 3 counties. We found a lovely space that's actually part of a doctor's office building, and the landlord allowed us to blow out some walls so that we could create a little studio space in there. We have 5 offices, and we're right next to the Arby's. That's what I always tell everybody on Corkscrew Road. So through this facility, we were able to bring the professionals into the local community. We rent housing and hotel rooms here in Estero. We rehearse here. We have a wonderful relationship with Coconut Point Mall, where we do short-term rental of a store when we're having a large rehearsal that can include up to 150 people, when we have the orchestra, the choir, and all the soloists, plus the costume team, and sometimes even the set construction team in the back of the room. We were just in what was the Party City a couple months ago, and it was great. It was about 6,000 square feet, and we were able to do all of our production operations in that one location. This is, our space is essentially a headquarters where we do our operational work. And we have a team of all women, as you can see here. We work beautifully together, and we have a full-time staff of 6 now. You just met our newest full-time staff member, Amy Giacometti, who is our first development director. After a 2-year search, we found her in Naples. A 2-year national search, we found her in Naples, and we're so happy to have her. Big plans for the future, which she will help with. Our operations director, Michelle Wesley, the wife of Chris Wesley, the head of the, what business school? Business school, yeah. Joined us as a box office manager in 2017 and advanced through the ranks to become our operations director in 2022. Claudia Polson was a former Naples Philharmonic, which is now Artist Naples, artistic administrator and fundraiser who helped start the children's choir there. She joined us in 2020. We have nurtured several young women with the love for performing arts as they transitioned into administrative roles. Audrey Del Campare, who was my voice student when she was in high school, got her undergraduate degree in vocal music and an MBA at Florida Southern University, and she is now combining those talents as our operations associate. Our primary function is to bring the art of classically trained voice to our Southwest Florida community. We produce full-scale grand operas, chamber operas, community concerts, social events, around 30 events in all each season throughout our Tri-County region, generally between October and May, although we have done some summer camps as well. By far the grandest and most complex form of live theater is grand opera. We produce 1 per season. They're very expensive, and it's hard to get on the stages at the major opera house. I should say theaters, they're not literally opera houses, they're concert venues. Our grand opera brings world-class artists and directors who perform alongside the regional talent, as I've mentioned. We develop professional singers. We work with community and university choirs, the local ballet schools, and other theater groups. We love to partner with other nonprofit performing arts groups. We engage new audiences and satisfy the opera aficionado with our main stage grand opera production. Up to 100 singers, or even more, including the musicians, performing together, most of them from our community. And I'm very proud to say that Gulfshore Opera is the only production company who is performing full-scale grand opera at our area's professional theaters, that being the Barbara Mann and Artist Naples. Now, finally, you're going to see a couple of moments from our sold-out production of Carmen, which you came to see at Artist Naples in December. Thank you. In this production, there were 65, not quite yet, sorry. Yep, that would be great, and we could turn the sound up too. In this production, there were 65 local professional and volunteer chorus members, adults and children from ages 8 to 80. Plus the 40-piece orchestra, our partner, the Naples Philharmonic Orchestra. In this clip, you will see all of these chorus members in the opening of Act 4. You will also notice at the top of the stage, we have what are called surtitles. This is a screen where if you're watching a foreign film, they have subtitles. In opera, we do surtitles above the stage. Whenever we are doing a production in a foreign language, to make it accessible to our audiences, we give you a translation, so you'll always know what's happening on the stage. All right, let's hit it. Thank you. It takes a lot of planning to do a production like this. As much as I love being the overall visionary of how this is going to happen, I find myself getting really into the weeds with things like the set which we ordered from Utah was due to arrive on the 25th of November, 2 days before Thanksgiving. And on the 24th, we asked them, can we please have the tracking number for this set? And they informed us, oh, we don't do that. So we had to get that set from Utah on Thanksgiving weekend. So yes, I was up late at night negotiating with the freight companies. There were also over 200 costumes in this opera, 4 different locations with different costume for each location for the full staff. So entrepreneurship, we'd be happy to start a sewing class.
Sewing machines and our makers.
Good, very good. And we have sewers. We have people who actually know how to do that. Great. And what a wonderful experience for the people in the local chorus. They start getting together in September on Saturdays. They learn the foreign languages. We have experts come in to teach them how to sing this kind of music. We even do some voice workshops for people who want to, and this is all free for them, to improve the sound, the quality, the range, and how loud they can sing without hurting themselves. I'd also like to play a moment from one of the famous arias from Carmen called the Habanera. So you could see the quality of the internationally cast soloists that we bring in. I looked all around the world, literally, to find this gorgeous Carmen, Lisa Marie Rogali.
Les s'en va là, l'amour tu peux l'attendre, tu ne l'attends plus, il est là, tout autour de toi, vite, vite, il vient, s'en va, puis il revient, tu crois le tenir, il t'évite, tu crois l'éviter, il te tient. Connu de loi, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je t'aime, regarde à toi. Regarde à toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Regarde à toi. Mais si je t'aime, si je t'aime.
She's a bad girl. So we can't always get into Artist Naples or Barbara Mann, but we do want to do more than one opera per year. So we have these chamber productions. They're smaller in scale with reduced orchestra and a smaller chorus. They are performed at community art centers in our 3 regions. We're performing at the Norris Center in Naples, Arts Bonita And, well, we haven't yet performed at the Circle Theater in Fort Myers, but we've been talking to them. These are all around 200-seat venues. I don't know if you've been to Arts Bonita, but it used to be the Living Waters Church, and they've done amazing things with that building. They're able to hold summer programs for children and art classes, and they've made great use of the building. We're going to skip the Chamber Opera video so we can get along. So this year, our Chamber Opera, we will be presenting Porgy and Bess. This is, we're going to present it as a jazz opera concert, touring Southwest Florida, March 27th through April 1st. This is a gritty and spirited story of the unshakable love between Porgy, a crippled beggar, and Bess, a beautiful woman who's haunted by the demons of her past. Gershwin's jazz opera is the first great American opera. It infuses jazz, gospel, and blues into the great score, and our abbreviated telling features 3 Metropolitan Opera singers who are right now performing this opera, Porgy and Bess, on the stage of the Metropolitan Opera. This is the level of talent that Gulfshore Opera brings to Southwest Florida. Bass baritone Kevin Short, who you see pictured there, has toured the world as Porgy, and we're going to have him do a little talk before the matinee performance at the Norris Center. Many of the songs have become popular standard hits like Summertime, Bess, You Is My Woman, and I Got Plenty of Nothing. We would love to be able to bring this production and those like it to a community, to a center here in Estero. Speaking of needs for our community, there is no such venue in Estero yet. Community concerts, is that the full light or is that the half light up here? It seems a little faded. Yeah. Okay, there we go, perfect. Go is developing new audiences throughout Southwest Florida by offering a wide variety of fun and friendly musical events at community venues through the 3 counties. At these community centers, we entice the audiences unfamiliar with opera to become more comfortable with the sound of the trained voice and to meet the people who have worked so hard to develop their artistry. During high season, typically January through March, we bring in experienced opera professionals selected from New York City management. They are young and attractive and versatile artists who perform in a variety of venues. And I'm just going to give you a little sample here of something that we have done at Shangri-La. What a beautiful place that is. In their outdoors during a beautiful evening in April.
Peasant, best to take the moment present as a present for the moment. Now I must leave you.
Why?
Well, the giant.
Will we find each other again in the woods?
This was just a moment in the woods, our moment shimmering and lovely and sad. Leave the moment, just be glad for the moment that we had. Every moment is a moment when you're in the woods. And now I must go off to slay the giant. That is what the next moment holds for me. I shall not forget you. How brave you are to be alone in the woods. And how alive you've made me feel.
We've earned our reputation for hosting fun and friendly social events, blending elegant dinners with live performance by nationally recognized professional artists. The Taste of Opera series allows our guests to delight in great arias, duets, and classic music theater scenes accompanied by piano, and preceded by an elegant dinner at a private club somewhere in the region. In November, Over 80 Southern Lee County residents enjoyed such an event at the Colony Bay Club at Pelican Landing. And tonight we'll be performing at the Miramar Lakes Country Club. If you belong to a club that would like to have an event like this, an elegant dinner followed by about a 45 to 1 hour performance, please reach out and I'm sure we could find something for your group. Our signature fundraising event will be held at Artist Naples this year. We're very excited about being at Artist Naples 3 times this year. Carmen, and we did a concert there last month, and then we'll be doing this on March 5th. The evening starts with a concert. The concert is a general admission concert. I think the tickets are in the $50 to $75 range. This is an international cast of singers. They will be in the Daniels Pavilion, performing masked moments from the opera, a dazzling collection of operatic scenes where disguise, deception, and desire take the center stage. Featuring the rising star Canadian tenor Michael Cairns, who was a grand finals winner of the 2022 Metropolitan Opera Competition, and other nationally recognized singers. The Masked Moment program explores themes of identity, passion, and fate, from Verdi's Masked Ball to the Phantom of the Opera. This concert will be followed by a gala-style dinner, which will be just across the pavilion there and upstairs at the Art Museum. It's called the Uben Event Space. So we're really excited about that evening. And it is our major fundraiser of the year. And what do we do with that money? Well, a lot. Oh, there we go. Oh, sorry. Go giving back. This is really important to us. You know, we are a charity. We're a public charity, so it is our duty to give to the community. And we do more than give performances to the community. With our community engagement programs, we're enriching the lives of a diverse cross-section of the Southwest Florida community. These opportunities are offered at no cost to participants, and they're made possible in part through grants from foundations and through individual gifts. The Emerging Artist Training Program takes talented local singers ages 16 to 32. It's by audition only and offered at no cost. The participants received individual studies, solo performance opportunities, and are hired as section leaders and supporting roles in the opera productions. We have had several graduates of the FGCU music program participate in this to further their training as singers and to prepare for graduate study auditions and competitions. Trainees develop tools for success, such as poise, stage presence, and confidence, giving them the competitive edge to increase their opportunities as vocal soloists. As their skills grow, they may be engaged to sing professionally with the company. This year, we have 4 local emerging artists. One young lady, Maria Fesoto, is a recent graduate of FGCU with a degree in music education. She is now both an emerging artist working on her own vocal development, and she has joined our teaching staff for the Harmony Choir, which I'm going to tell you more about in a moment. There's one aspect of what Gulfshore Opera does that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is our youth engagement initiative, the Harmony Choir. This is a youth development choral program that empowers over 100 at-risk children in 7 community centers throughout our 3 counties. Our program augments existing after-school programs by offering free music lessons and choral performance opportunities in underserved neighborhoods. One of our strongest chapters is right here in Estero at the 3 Oaks Academy, which welcomes autistic children. This is next to the Estero Community Church. Other partners include the Boys and Girls Club, Salvation Army, and Youth Haven. We are very excited to move forward with a new program called Connecting Youth with Seniors Through Music. Thanks to this year's grant from the League Club and the Moorings Park Foundation, we are allowed to use this money to advance the program in Collier and Lee counties. Youth from various chapters visit seniors at adult daycare centers and senior facilities to perform short choral programs. Afterwards, the kids pass out cookies and serve refreshments, engaging in social interaction with the residents. It's a great self-esteem builder to these kids, many of whom come from English as a second language families who feel marginalized in their community. And as you can imagine, it's a wonderful experience for the seniors. I think you mentioned something about the healing powers of music and also connecting with the kids. We did a Christmas program, and one elderly lady said she wouldn't be able to see her grandchildren this year, but this really brought that joy of being with children at Christmas to her. We're going to show you a clip now from the Harmony Choir Estero in the Three Oaks Academy kids that I spoke about, and they're performing at the Brookdale Senior Center in Bonita. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go through those goals really quick. Increase music education for youth and adults with a nucleus here in Estero. Our objective, my objective, after 23 years producing opera and working on my succession plan, is to make what Gulfshore Opera does in the community sustainable and to grow our programs. We can't do this without a community center. We have a lovely little space, 1,500 square feet, 5 offices and a small studio, but we need a lot more space than that. We would like to increase training programs and summer camps through the creation of a shared community space in Estero. GO is in communication with the village of Estero regarding the future of arts right here where we have our headquarters. Many in our local community hope for the future establishment of a collaborative performing arts venue where local arts organizations can share the stage and bring entertainment, summer programs, and cultural enrichment to the local community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steffanie, and thank you, Amy, as well, for all your hard work over there. I think that your talk is extremely important, and I would urge not only the people who are here, but the people who obviously receive our communications and look at the video today of the meeting to support your organization, to support the arts and the entertainment that's taking place here in Estero. I know Steve Sarkozy, the manager of the village here, is indeed anxious to move ahead with encouraging investment in a community theatre here. But obviously that can't really happen unless those that are interested or perhaps consider plans to do that recognize that we as a community also support that particular intention by attending as many of the things that take place here as possible. So I certainly would like to make that message very clear. We'd love to have a theatre here. I think it's very welcome, but obviously we need to support what's here already.
Thank you. If I may step on you for a moment, because Amy was going to speak about this. She's our new development director, and this is a vision that we have for the next few years. There's a sign-up sheet in the back. We would just like to invite to host a think tank on what your thoughts are. Perhaps you know of a location, or you would like to be involved in this conversation that's been happening for many years. Actually, COVID really slowed it down. But we'd like to find who those leaders in our community are who might be interested in continuing this conversation. Amy has a little Share the Dream sign-up sheet.
Take one, fill it out, and hand it to either Steffanie or myself.
Yes, and please take our materials that are on the back table there too. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Well, from my side, just a few more minutes of your time, if I may. I want to personally, and on behalf of the Engage Estero team, thank everyone in the community for a number of things. First of all, 2025 was indeed probably one of our most successful years in helping to generate donations from many of the people living here in Estero, from various organizations. Your financial support is extremely important to us, as I know it is to, of course, so many other organizations. But I did want to thank you on behalf of everyone for what you've done for us in 2025. Also to thank you for your very kind words about what we do, our communications and the meetings like these that we have for people. The attendance, I know today's was perhaps an exception, but the attendance at these meetings has really been quite extraordinary in 2025. I think it's a reflection of the quality of the meetings themselves, and of course the topics as well that we bring to people's attention here. So that's very important. We've had a considerable increase in our social media posts, and also the podcasts that our team, both Terry Flanagan on my left here and Mike Wasson, who is at the back, have paid a lot of attention to and done a lot of work in this regard. And the expansion of our list of the people who receive our communications has increased from somewhere just under 10,000 to now over 14,000 in 2025. And we're anticipating an increase of, believe this or not, a further 9,000 to our list from people who are living on the East Corkscrew area. I know that this is an area that we feel that we can also help the people on East Corkscrew on a number of the same sorts of things that we do here in Estero. And certainly 2026, I think, is going to be an important year for that sort of expansion. And I'd also like to add my personal thanks. You know, I stand up here now for perhaps the last 9 months, but it's not down to me. I mean, we wouldn't work, just like I'm sure Steffanie has indicated in her group. You know, we can't do things on our own. And I'm very grateful and humbled by the excellent support that I get from all of the people who are working in Engage Estero with me. It's really amazing. I mean, these people spend, 25, 30 hours a week and have no pay for that. It's important because I know they do this simply because we enjoy where we are here in Estero, and everybody wants to make it the best place that it can possibly be. I just wanted to touch on a couple of quick things you probably do know, but it's a reminder to you that the new renovated library is now open on Three Oaks after an investment of over $10 million in doing that. There have been regular meetings, of course, with the Estero Village management covering many topics. I'm very pleased to say that we have a very, very good rapport with both Steve Sarkozy, the manager, and David Willems on the managerial side. And I know that the Village Council also pay particular attention to some of the issues which on your behalf we actually raise with them. They're very receptive to those things, even if perhaps sometimes they may be a little concerning to them. But as Steve Sarkozy said, you know, it's better to be aware of the public opinion on certain things than not, so that obviously action can be taken. And it's very reassuring to have that very good rapport. We've put forward strong objections recently, of course. You may or may not have seen in the press, I spoke about the development for removing the cinema in Coconut Point and putting up a 5-story development there and a multi-story car park. I was certainly concerned, and so were many people in Shadowwood, where I live, about the appearance of that building, the high density of it, and I didn't think that it fitted really very much at all with the overall tenure of what we see as developments taking place in Estero. So I'm hoping that maybe the Planning and Zoning Board, which I do know were certainly concerned about a number of features of that, will be taking a serious look at that particular possibility.
Alan, I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but I just have to say, about 3.5 years ago, I went to Coconut Point Management and talked to them about starting an art center there. They said the building was not for sale and that there could be no renovations made, and they were having air conditioning problems, and then I found out about this.
Well, I know that there is a group that Steve Sarkozy did mention that is interested in the development of that cinema to turn it into a potential smaller, but probably somewhere in the region of about 300 seat theater. So it remains to be seen. That hasn't been ruled out, but we'll have to see what does happen on that. Just as some upcoming important events, which I'd just like to draw your attention to. First of all, we do have, am I on the right one? No, it's, not working again. I think we have a problem with your, with Amy's little, can you turn it on to the next one for me? Thank you. There we go. Okay. You may know that the very, very important, and I would say special gala event of the year in Estero is coming up on February the 26th. It's a means of recognizing someone in the community that has made particular steps to improve various things that go on here. I mean, there's a lot of people, of course, who do that. We have a tremendous amount of people who, with Julie Yelig, who's here with us today, go out and collect all of the rubbish from, alongside US 41 and various other teams in various other parts of Estero. In our view, these are all winners. These are all winners. They go out on their own time to do this sort of thing. But of course, we tend to choose one individual, and this year we've chosen Dr. Larry Antonucci, President and Chief Operating Officer of Lee Health. He is the recipient of the Don Eslick Person of the Year Award for 2025, and the event is going to be held at the Estero Center at the Vines. And although we don't mark up any of the costs involved in attending that, it will be $125 for a very lovely meal and 2 glasses of wine. And I think those people who believe that so much has been done by Dr. Antonucci and Lee Health for the improvement in what we have here in Estero, on the healthcare side, if those individuals would like to come along and, in a sense, support not only what Engage Estero does in having these annual meetings, but in this case supporting what Larry Antonucci and Lee Health have done to improve all of the facilities here in Estero, that would obviously be extremely nice. So I'll let you make your own decisions about that. We also have upcoming at FGCU's Cohen Student Union Ballroom on March the 17th, another very important meeting. We were talking a little bit earlier in various ways about where is Estero headed, what's our future? And that's really going to be the topic of this public forum, Shaping Estero's Future, a public forum on our communities tomorrow. We have a very important panel. I won't go into all those details. We will, of course, be sending out further information about this, but you will see the importance of attending that meeting, and you can register for both of those online on our website, so www.esterotoday.com. And if this is working, I'll go on to the next one. Maybe not. Thank you. We have just completed the annual report. It's an extremely important document that we produce because it summarizes all of the very important things that Engage Estero has done over the last year. And I think when you have a look at that particular document, I'm sure that you might not fail to be impressed by the many things that have happened as regards what our work has entailed and what we have done over the years. I don't want to spend time going over that right now, but that will be being issued probably within the next week or two. And just to finalize, I know my colleagues wanted to mention that we have a meeting cropping up at the library for veterans. If any of you are veterans, or if you have friends or individual neighbors who are veterans, please let them know that on Tuesday at 4:30 in the library here on, just up from Corkscrew Road here, we will have a meeting which will discuss with the veterans how they would like to proceed in encouraging the village to enhance what we have here within our community for veterans themselves. We have, of course, as Mark Nowitzki, who is in the back there, knows, have been talking for quite some time about having a veterans recognition area, a very recognition park or somewhere special where, of course, veterans can come and sit down and think, and others can obviously consider all of the sacrifices that these individuals have made, both living and not so, over the course of time to enhance what we have here in the States. I know from my voice you will know that historically, of course, I am not American, but I have lived here with my wife since 1998. And in fact, probably more than half our married life has been spent here in the States and here in Estero. So I'm certainly very passionately involved in all that happens here, despite my Welsh ancestry. So it's very important to me that these things happen, and that's why I do what I do here in Estero, because I too feel very passionately about where we live and what I would like to see and encourage that we have here in the future. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for attending today's meeting. I wish that you stay warm over the next few days, and look forward to seeing you at one of our other meetings. Thank you all very much.